Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling one of the biggest, most frustrating parts of building custom AI, creating the data. We're going to break down how you can build a really high-quality data set for something called an instance segmentation model. Now, that's just a fancy term for an AI that can not only see an object in an image, but can also trace a perfect pixel-by-pixel outline around it.
You know, if you've ever tried to build your own computer vision project, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've got this awesome idea, you've got your video, but now what? You have to somehow turn that raw footage into fuel that can actually power your AI. And that journey, well, it always starts with the painful step of data annotation.
And right here, this is the massive bottleneck. The old way of doing this means sitting down and going through your video frame by painful frame and drawing these little outlines around every single object you care about. I mean, this can take days, sometimes even weeks. It just grinds the whole creative process to a halt.
So what if we could just flip that whole process on its head? What if we could use an AI to help us build the data we need to train another AI? It sounds a little meta, I know, but it's an idea that could completely demolish that bottleneck for good.
And the tool that does this is called Annolid. It's a really smart solution designed to make this whole workflow way more efficient.
The whole philosophy behind Annolid is to stop thinking about video as just a giant pile of thousands of individual pictures. Instead, it lets you work directly with the video file itself, which makes the whole process feel so much more natural and, most importantly, keeps your project moving forward.
And really, the entire thing boils down to just 3 simple phases. You load your video, you use the AI to help you annotate, and then you convert it into the right format. So let's jump into that first part, the annotation workflow.
All right, first up, the annotation workflow. This is where we start loading and labeling our video.
So instead of having to extract and then try to manage thousands of separate image files, you just open the video. That's it. Annolid loads it up and gives you all the playback controls you'd expect so you can easily scrub through your footage.
But, okay, this is where the magic really starts to happen. AI-assisted labeling. This is Annolid's killer feature, the one that tackles the most boring, tedious part of the job, actually drawing the outlines.
And it is literally this simple. You find a frame you want to label, you grab the AI Polygons tool, and you just click on the object. In this case, it's a mouse. And boom, an AI model that's built right in instantly generates a super precise outline. All of that tracing work, done in a single click.
So you get into this really quick, efficient rhythm. You just scrub to a new frame, click on your object, give it a name, and then you just repeat that. And remember, the goal isn't to label every single frame. You just need to grab enough different examples to give your model a good, diverse data set to learn from.
And as you're doing all this, Annolid is saving everything in the background for you. Every frame you label gets its own little .json file. You can just think of it as a simple text file that stores the coordinates of the outline and the label name. This keeps everything perfectly organized for that final, crucial step.
Okay, so you've clicked your way through a good number of frames. Now it's time to turn all those clicks into actual code, something an AI model can understand. We're going to target what's called the YOLO format. It stands for You Only Look Once, and it's a super popular standard for these kinds of models.
And the best part is, Annolid handles this entire conversion for you. You don't have to mess around with any external scripts or command line stuff. The tool is just built right into the main menu, making this last step completely seamless.
And this little window is pretty much all that's left between you and your dataset. You just tell the converter where to find that folder of JSON files Annolid made, and then you decide how you want to split up your data for training and testing your model later on. The second you hit that convert button, Annolid just takes over. It does all the heavy lifting, it goes through all your files, converts the data, copies the right image frames, and splits everything up perfectly into your training, validation, and test folders.
So after all that, what's the big payoff? Well, you get a perfectly structured dataset that's ready to go, right out of the box.
Annolid automatically builds this entire folder structure for you. You get your images and your labels all sorted into the right sets. And this is so important. It also generates this data.yaml file. You can think of this file like a little map or a table of contents that tells your training script exactly where to find everything it needs.
And that's the real key here. There is zero extra prep work you have to do. You can take this folder that Annolid created, point your YOLO training script right at that .yaml file, and just hit go. You can literally go from a raw video to training a model in minutes, not days. You know, by removing what has always been the single biggest roadblock in custom AI, tools like Annolid don't just speed things up, they make entirely new ideas possible. When creating the data is this easy, you can finally stop preparing and just start building.